He's a songwriter, a poet, a rifleman,
I'm not afraid.
and a constitutional activist.
I'm not afraid.
Italian by birth,
I'm not afraid.
American by choice. Luca Zanna
I'm not afraid.
and his new CD, Love, Guns, and Freedom. 16 powerful songs on one CD from the heart of a patriot. For download or to order the CD, go to www.lovegunsfreedom.com. That's www.lovegunsfreedom.com. Lyrics for your mind, music for your heart. Luca Zanna's new CD, Love, Guns, and Freedom.
Here we go, guys. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with Luca Zanna, second hour. It's all about guns, and it's all about freedom, because there is a connection. Without guns, there is no freedom. Sorry, guys. You can say you're free whatever you want, but the bottom line, they'll shut you up. The bottom line, they will put you in the camps. It happened in history, everywhere. Now, this hour today, it's probably even more important than the past. And you will see why at the end of the hour. The second part of this hour, I have a guest. It's an American man, U.S. veteran. More important is an American man who is not afraid to exercise his First Amendment. And then what you have to say now, what is the connection? You know, it's talking about First Amendment while we're talking about guns. You will see now. Because in America, if you want to exercise your First Amendment, you better be prepared to also use your Second Amendment to defend your life, to defend your family. That's where we're living right now. That's why this is so vital, that you listen. You understand this is not a hobby. This is not a sport. This is nothing just to entertain yourself. As a hobby, you know what I do? I collect butterflies. Or maybe look at the stars. Or I count spaghetti. That's what I do for a hobby. I eat them. This is a really serious matter of life or death. None of my rifles are for hunting purposes. Yes, I can eventually, if I want, I can hunt with any rifle I have. But I don't really hunt. I don't buy $2,000 rifle to hunt. I may go hunt if I want to with a spear if I have to. Okay? The rifles for me are defending my freedom and this republic. Simple as that. Now, I don't want to ruin the surprise because you got to listen to the final part of the show. Meanwhile, we start the first part of the show. And all I want to do in this part of the segment, I want to empower you. I want to give you every opportunity you have to buy whatever tool you need. I don't care if you can afford, $1,000 Kimber or whatever handgun or $120, high point affordable gun. I don't care. Whatever you're going to buy, though, you buy it. And remember, don't think just because you have a handgun, you're set. The handgun, it is just the first step to fight your way to the rifle. Okay? At the end of the day, we should all become riflemen. That's the way you defend freedom. Your handgun is to defend your persona, your person. The shotgun to defend your castle, your home. But how you defend freedom? With a rifle. That's why all governments, they don't want citizens armed with rifles. That's why even in Europe, in Germany, for example, or in Italy, there is no Second Amendment, but the government will allow you eventually, of course always paying fees for permits, to have a shotgun. Because the shotgun, after all, it's for peasants. You can go hunt with a shotgun, but you don't defend your freedom. So get your rifle at the end. Let's start with the basic things, First of all, before we go there, I've been told that I broke several European laws. Yes, I'm a lawbreaker in Europe, but don't get me wrong. Not according to American laws, and I'm an American. And you know what these laws are? About freedom of speech. Yes, I didn't kill anybody, I didn't hurt anybody, I didn't, steal, I didn't rob, I didn't do drugs. No, just because in Europe, my speech, it is against the law. And I give you an example, For example, a couple of years ago, I wrote a poem for the former Italian president, Giorgio Napolitano. You can go on YouTube, you can put Luca Zanna, Giorgio Napolitano president poem. That poem, I also sent it to the to the White House of the Italian president with a note, Merry Christmas. I know you got it. Guess what? Just because you offend the Italian president, there is a specific law in the criminal penal code. You can spend 5 years in jail. Boom. Couldn't wait to break the law. I'm an American. I gave up and I burned my Italian passport in 2005, exactly the day after when I became an American. In my oath to defend this republic was also that I am not allegiance to anybody else, no more to other state or potentate. So screw it. That was this easy decision. Now, not only I broke that Italian law offending his assiness, as I call him, but also, I call, in this show, for example, and also in other show on the internet, the German Chancellor, Angela Merkel, a whore of the New World Order. Right there, you can get arrested. You call somebody like that, especially one of the first minister or the chancellor of the nation. In Italy, it's a federal law. That's it. In Germany, probably there is a law there too. Also, just calling the English queer, the queen, I wrote a nice little song that I know is going pretty hard out there, and I'm amazed it didn't get banned yet. God damn the queen. So there is different things just because you have freedom of speech. And for example, in this show, you will listen the second part of this show, the final hour. I have a guest who does not believe in the Holocaust. You know what? This is not about me, believe it or not. It is about freedom of speech. And the point is, in France, for example, there is a law that you go to jail if you deny the Holocaust. And I'm not here to deny or to say it's right or not. I'm here to say that this man has the right in America to exercise his freedom of speech. But I already know, in Europe, I can be sent to jail. And I know that pretty much exactly what can happen. Because there is Obama executive order. There was a couple years ago. I already talked about this on the show. But, I had sources in the Italian law enforcement, people that I used to know when we were younger. And we did the military academy together. Now they are high up in the order of military police. That my name is going around. Excellent. I think it's excellent. It means I'm doing my job. But there is a new trick now, a new little twist. Obama, with this executive order, gives the Interpol, and you say, what is the Interpol? Interpol is the New World Order global police. It's global government police. That means it's the international police that has the authority in their mind to come in every part of the world, navigate, avoid the sovereignty of that nation, and technically they have power of arresting people in their mind. Obama now gave him a couple of years ago with his executive order. You can Google it directly from the White House, website. Obama executive order, immunity, Interpol. You'll find it. To arrest anybody, of course, and also to be immune to American laws. So they can come here, knock you down, arrest you, kill you, shoot you, and not even be part of the due process that we have. Like normally law enforcement or peace officers should be, constrained. Think about it. This is complete tyranny. So I have a message. This is why this is now. Why are you talking about all this in the second hour? This is about guns. And this is exactly why I'm screaming out of my lungs to tell you this is the time, more than ever, to understand the purpose of the Second Amendment, to use it. Don't wait and they knock at your door. Let's start to talk now. Which gun do you need? Which shotgun do we need? Which rifle do I need? And how do I train? How much ammo? Where do I buy the ammo? This is why I'm here. I'm trying to give you everything I can to prepare yourself. First of all, you prepare yourself in your mind, in your heart. You can just be armed with a stick, with a little whatever. I don't care if you have like a slingshot. But if your heart and if your mindset is right, I have more respect for a man armed with a slingshot, but he's gonna use it if he has to, than some guy that he has $3,000 rifle and then the moment of the need they're gonna run. So let's start to think with a mindset. This is not a game; it's happening now. Different scenarios. Maybe now Interpol is not going to come at your door. Maybe it's not going to come at my door, but that's not the point. Things are happening. I mean, we heard before about now that our borders are completely open, wide open. There is no more border, not just for the illegal aliens from south of the border. Now they're coming by 100,000 from Syria, only God knows where. And you know what? All you got to do is get 5% of them, even just 1%, that they are militants, that they're armed, and they can, or they're trained, they can get the arms here if they want to. So you're gonna have a civil war. You gotta be watching when you go to church. You're gonna be watching if you are outspoken in your beliefs or you're just even criticizing, exercising your First Amendment. So that's why we got to train. That's why this purpose of this show, it's all connected. There is no freedom without guns. That's simple as that. George Washington, I think, used to call him the thief of freedom. Yes, it's true. And that's why we have an advantage in this country. It's a right. It is not a privilege. I know some states like California, it's becoming a privilege, but still, you still have better off than Italy or Europe in general. They're completely castrated there. So let's use this right. Now, as I said many times, I don't care what you buy. I'm not here to tell you, oh, let's have a conversation about what is better, a Glock or a Beretta. Yeah, we had it for fun, but that's not the point. I don't care. You must have, though, a gun, handgun, hopefully semi-automatic. If it's a revolver, that's fine. Just train with that. And train especially in the tactical, emergency reload, and tactical reload. That's the bottom line. You must train. Whatever you have, you use it. Now, I gave you many opportunities. People I think, say, you know what, maybe I'm broke now. I need to wait the next paycheck, whatever. There is no excuse. I give you the opportunity to look for guns that go from $120, like a High Point, to places like, for example, Sportsman Guide. And there is a gun that I have in the shopping cart right now. I really like it, by the way. It's a Beretta 92A1 semi-automatic 9mm. This is nice. This is the upgraded version of Beretta. And you can buy this gun. They can ship directly to your FFL dealer. Okay? And you can becoming a member of Sportsman Guide. You can make 4 payments in 4 different months. So let's say you can get this Beretta 92A1 semi-automatic. This is the one that has also the rail guide for the dedicated light. It's an upgraded version of 92A1. It's nice. $670. But guess what? You can make 4 payments. So that's another opportunity. Think about it. There is no excuse. You gotta have one gun and stick with that gun. Okay? If you like to have like 50 guns, handguns, first of all, I would say that's fine, that's great. But you know what? The handgun, it is not the main thing I would invest my money. There is no war ever won with a handgun. The handgun is just for personal protection. My opinion, the handgun is the way I can fight my way to the rifle. Simple as that. And I like guns, I got my 1911, I got my CZ75, I have revolvers, blah, blah, blah. By the end of the day, I train with my Glock. Simple as that. And that's what I carry. Simple as that. So have one gun. Whatever you have it now and start training. Number 2, you need a shotgun. I'm not going to tell you which shotgun you get. You got so many options. I already talked about this in the past, but this is so important. You got to have a shotgun for many purposes. And it's not for hunting, okay? It is mostly to defend your castle. And don't get me wrong. Times get tough. With shotgun, you can go and take care of your family. You can eat, okay? That's the bottom line. But more important is for defense of your castle. As I said, there are many shotguns out there. You can go between the Remington A70, that's great, or the platform of the Mossberg 500. My favorite, Mossberg 500, exactly 590 A1. With the ghost ring, you can get it, different type of length of barrel. I like with the 8+1 chamber, longer barrel. But that's me. Whatever you have, train with a shotgun. Don't think just because you have it there close to your bed, it's going to be there and you make the click noise, everybody's going to get scared. No, you got to really train. A shotgun, especially the pump action, it needs a lot of integration, a lot of synchronization with your arm to be sure that you cycle it correctly. Be sure that you can know how to load it up, unload it, change from backshot or birdshot to slug. It's important to train. Now, then we gotta get the rifle. I already said that. There is no excuse. This is the beginning. This is the basics. These are the basics. Then the next thing I will tell you, we gotta do the training. And I also give you an opportunity. I want to give you every opportunity I can. I had on this show from front side to gun side to personal local trainers here in the area. I don't care. I don't even get paid by them. My only goal is that you got the training you need. This is the time that all of us as Americans, we all commit ourselves in defense of this republic and also defending each other. Okay, I'm not saying that I'm here as a big shot or a hero. I'm not here to say I'm going to do Rambo. But I say something, somebody next door to me start to scream in the middle of the night. There's a bunch of men dressed like ninja. That they come there without any type of lawful warrant. And they have a foreign accent. I don't care wherever they're from. They better have a warrant. They better stick to the due process. Otherwise, for me, these are like UFO. I treat them like aliens from Mars. And I would do everything I can to defend my fellow neighbor. That's why we gotta stay for each other. That's why we gotta first start as individuals. You start as an individual. You don't need to wait the rest of the mob or the group. Do your part. Do your duty. And it's all about prioritization. You can say, I don't have enough money. Guess what? How much did you spend today when you get out at Starbucks? How much money did you leave? At least $5 for nothing. For some GMO, probably coffee and maybe some garbage full of corn syrup, whatever it is, a little bakery. Guess what? $5 every day, it's $150. It is? Yeah, at the end of the month, I think it is. Even a wop like me can count till 30. 5 by 30, $150. Guess what? With $150, I already got at least my down payment, or at least one of my payments for my handgun. And I'm talking about the top handgun I can get in places like Sportsman Guide. And by the way, I just want to be sure, Sportsman Guide is not my sponsor. Every name I bring you here, they are not my sponsors. And not because I don't want them, no, because now I think it's more important to bring you the information and start to beg to somebody for sponsor. So what I want to give you the information. At the same time, I remind you though, I'm here, I'm still made of flesh and bone. I still eat 3 times a day. Maybe twice, but still, I have bills to pay, and I dedicate hours for the show, for you, also for myself, because I believe that when all gonna be together, united, and prepared, we have a better chance to survive as a free nation. So I also remind you that you can support the show, and I hope you do. I'm not shy about it. You don't need to be rich. I don't want a check. I don't want, charity. All I ask you go to my website, at least one of my websites, like for example, zanna.us. My main music website. You can download any of my songs for 99 cents. I didn't say $900. I didn't say $90. I didn't say, $9. I say 99 cents. I'm trying to give you now just a tip. Like just for example, bring your Sportsman Guide that you can get 4 payments for any item, like a gun or anything, even ammunition, and try to bring you other information that I will right now. I hope right there that's worth it. Hope that's right worth the 99 cents. So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So, number 2, another important thing we need, it's a rifle. I said many times, you can get whatever you want. I don't care if you get your Mosin gun, $99 or $129. One of the best places you can get it, in my opinion, it's J&G Sales in Prescott, Arizona. I got mine there a few years ago. I bought them by group of 6. I say no. Honestly, I think I did 7, 1 for every day of the week. Why? Why do I need 7 Mosin guns? First of all, because I like it. First of all, because I really think they're cool. I like to put them on the wall and I'm staring at them. 7, 1 for every day of the week. But you know what? Sometimes there's always some idiot that forgot to buy his rifle when they had the chance. And he's coming, maybe knocking at your door. Maybe there is some real problem out there for the whole community. Guess what? You're not going to get my $2,000 M14. No way. You're going to work your way out. I'm going to give you maybe a Mosin gun. At least it's a rifle that you can start with. But the point is, I don't care if you get a $120 Mosin gun. The point is, if you train with that, if you have the right mindset, you can become a warrior for peace, a warrior for freedom. You're probably a much more powerful warrior, or dangerous warrior against the tyrants, than just if you had the most expensive rifle out there, you don't know how to use it, or you don't want to use it. That's the bottom line. So get your rifle. I'm not going to go back now between AK-47, AR-15, M14, whatever you get one. Now with the rifle, you got to get your ammo. Okay, and I want to give you one more time one of the best sources for me for ammo. Okay, at least this is for me. sgammo.com. S as Sam, G as Golf, ammo.com. Okay, there are great deals. I mean, I shop around a lot. Used to be Sportsman Guide, very good on prices of ammo. Now SG Ammo for me is number 1. Also cheaper than dirt is really good, okay? The point is, get whatever rifle you have. Don't do like, in Europe, that they give you a maximum quantity you can have. I think in Europe you cannot have more than 200 rounds. After that, you break the law. Here you can have 100,000 of rounds if you want to. And you know that, for what I know, at least in Arizona, there is no law that does not allow you to do that. So use your rights. You know what? People say, what do I need all these rounds for? First of all, I didn't say buy 100, but you know what? 100,000 would be great. Guess what? It's an investment, first of all. People say invest in gold, great. Invest in silver, great. I say also invest in copper and lead. Because I tell you, when really things gonna get nasty, I don't think you can defend yourself with gold unless you got a bar, maybe 2 pounds bar, you can knock somebody's in the head with that. But otherwise, you better get your rounds. Because I don't care how many rifles you have, if you do not have enough ammo, sooner or later, ammo, they're perishable, you're gonna have like an expensive club. That's what you have. So you got your rounds. And I don't want to say 10,000, 5,000. All I say, as many as you can afford. I say as many as your as your ground, as your floor can handle. And guess what? I like cement floors. That's where I live. So I love it. That's the bottom line. So, and then we got to go to the training. Now, I gave you an opportunity, and we're almost at the end. This is the last week, I guess. And I wasn't impressed. Where are you guys? I'm trying to give you $15,000 free of training for your lifetime, becoming a member of Frontsight Nevada Diamond membership. This is not a sponsor. I'm offering it myself, Luca Zanna. I'm one of the top level members there, so I can do that. So I want to give you that opportunity. That was with Chris Shank, a guest of mine on my show a few months ago. Okay, professional shooter on History Channel. We had a great show with him. The point is, I was going to give it to him, this membership. I said, no, let's give it to one of your listeners. And I said, how do we do that? Let's do it with like a little contest. You got to do a little video of yourself and all the directions, all the information for this little contest. They are on lovegunsfreedom.com homepage, top left. You will see the photo of Chris Shank. Click that, and there are all the information. I'm giving it away, $15,000 value of training for the rest of your life. So I want you trained, and I want you to train others. That's the bottom line. So that's where we start to are now. This is the reality. It's coming to a point, and you will see now, I don't want to ruin the surprise. It's coming that we're not anymore in America anymore. You think you're safe just because you're in America, you have freedom of speech, you can say whatever you want. No, you can't. I mean, yes, you still can probably, but you got to pay the consequences. Probably you're going to start now to realize that if you say something like could be offensive to a group, a religious group, they may put you on the target list. And you can be a target, you and your family. So you see, supposedly, what? We went to Iraq to defend our freedom. Guess what? Our freedom is gone. Thanks to the government, and more now, thanks to allowing the government all these radicals in our country. So no, we are more in danger than ever. Now, another place I like to recommend, I like to shop, it's centerfiresystems.com, centerfiresystems.com. There are great deals on magazines. For example, there is now a K-47 magazine, 30 rounds, $6.99 for each one if you buy 3 or more. That's really good, $7. Same thing for if you got Glocks. I mean, I always like to recommend to buy original Glock factory magazine, especially for what you carry. But I tell you, for training, especially you need extra magazine, I suggest you this. You can go to get, they have like this Korean KCI aftermarket Glock magazine. You can get like, for example, the 40 caliber 32 rounds extended magazine for $9.99, or you can get a Glock 17 9mm, or even for the 19, doesn't matter, 33 rounds for $9.99, and they work. I got a few of them. Okay, as I said, I would not use that for my main self-defense situation, but for practicing, they're great. And honestly, I never had any problem. Normally I get this one also for my 17 rounds regular magazine. I try them out. I'm fine with those. I just, I like to be sticking though with the regular factory market, So that's the bottom line. This is very important. You never know. This may be my last show. You never know. So all I'm saying, you better start to organize yourself. You gotta start to, first of all, to train yourself. You gotta better start to get your gun, your shotgun, your rifle. Get your ammo. Get your gear. How are you gonna carry that rifle? How many rounds can you carry without a gear? In case there is a real need. And people say, oh, it's not gonna happen here. Did you see what happened in France when you have these riots in these neighborhoods where the Muslims got completely crazy? Oh, you see what happened there? It's only a question of time when they start to reach critical mass and they have enough numbers. These people, they're okay with that. They're loving it. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure there are some Muslims that they will never do violence, but guess what? Probably they're not real Muslims. Maybe they don't just really read the whole book. But my point, regardless, things can happen. We're going to be surrounded in our own soil. Maybe not today, maybe the next 5 years. We may really live in another America. Maybe if you listen to this show in 5 years from now, and now right now, exactly, I tell you, we are October 2014, okay? October the 4th. And if you listen to the show in the future, and you're in America, I just hope I was wrong. I hope all this is going to go away. I really do. I mean, why it doesn't look like? So get your stuff now. Train now. Then after you do that, you got to start to think that alone, we are vulnerable. After all, you got only 2 eyes. You got to sleep sometimes. I don't know anybody can sleep with 1 eye open, 1 closed, but maybe somebody's out there. But still, you need 2 other eyes to see what's your back. So you start to organize your family. That's your first team. I'm not telling you that you start a new militia or start an army or start anything. You start to organize your family. Have a plan in your household. Train together. Enjoy also this opportunity like a moment of fun, of bonding with your family. So everybody armed, everybody knows how to use it, everybody knows safety. That's very important. Let's start with that. So, because everybody in your family, remember, if you are the man, the husband, the family man, probably is going to be the first one they're going to try to put you down. That's the way it works. Because then they can rape your children, they can kill your wife, and eventually do the same to your wife too. That's the way it goes. It is not just with the extreme from the Middle East. No, this is about the regular scumbag. That's the way it works. So you train your wife, probably more importantly, train yourself, because you're going to be the first one to go down. They're going to try to take you off guard. So, and after that, you start to look for like-minded families. You know, people normally, they get together and they find similar club, book, interest, whatever. Guess what? This is my interest. Defending my family, defending this country, defending my freedom. So if you find another family like that, guess what? Start to have time together. Maybe barbecue, maybe whatever. Have some pasta. Start to share time, know each other, and train together. Yo, next door neighbors. That's the way we're going to defend and going to create a defense system for this country. Start locally, in our communities. Now, that's the most important thing, in my opinion. This is the plan. Today I wanted to talk about a little bit about my coming book called Combat Handgun for Self-Defense. Finally, it's over. It took me like freaking 1 year. I got so many things I'm doing. And I have other books coming out. I'll be working 2 more books. But the point is, this is a manual. It's not from my point of view of a professional instructor. No, I'm not an instructor. I'm a professional student. That's what I do. I'm out there studying. I go there and practice. I put myself as for me, it's a commitment. I'm a committed student. I take this seriously. So anyway, it's a manual. It's going to be for sale on Amazon and different websites. I will start just with the ebook version because I want to give first of all, everybody the opportunity to get this book for an affordable price, like $1.99. More than 120 pages with photos. And there is pretty much all my the curriculum that I learned at Frontside, Nevada, that I am distinguished graduate several times. Every time I go there now, a distinguished graduate the last few years. And of course, also other type of education system, because I'm not there to endorse Frontside. I'm just there as a student. And this book, I wanted to give the opportunity to the listener to at least have the opportunity to learn all the curriculum that normally you get at the 4 days at the self-defense, handgun class. Normally costs $2,000. And it's a great curriculum. And there is also some other information. It's not just about that. So it's a great opportunity to just get some basics down. I think really well done. I mean, in my opinion, not because I did, because I really think the curriculum is great. Well done. And I'm there try really to share it as accurate as possible. Okay, that's my job. So if you want to know more about it, I want to give you the website. Go to handguntraining.tv. Handguntraining.tv. Join my newsletter. It's free, and I'll let you know as the book get released. Meanwhile, on the handguntraining.tv, you will see some not edited blogs that they extract from my book. Okay. Now, edited means that I just give you the rough version when I was doing it before even edited. But the concepts are there. Probably my English, Italian is going to make you laugh, but still, you got some good information, at least there. One thing I want to remind you, we are living in a situation that no matter if you're facing potential terrorists coming from overseas, try to threaten your life or your family, or if you're facing the regular scumbag, from next door in our community. The most important weapon we have, it is first of all our mindset, but also it is our awareness. This is so important because I don't care how fast you are. I don't care how strong you are. I don't care how powerful your gun is. If you are not aware of your surrounding, they're going to take you off guard. I know it's difficult to live 24/7 in condition yellow. And by the way, I don't want to go back now to see the different level of our net alertness. You will get the details if you want on my blog that you can find at handguntraining.tv. But that's the reality. We got to live in condition yellow. Otherwise, don't even carry the gun. Because all you're going to do, you're going to probably give that gun, load the gun to a bad person out there. They're going to get you off guard. And sometimes it's difficult. I understand. Sometimes we are relaxed. And it's like a game, We may have moments that we go in condition white. I try to avoid it. Normally, I'm not doing it anymore. But it's a challenge. So condition white when you are walking from Walmart on the parking lot, you're doing your little text messages, why probably, you're staring at the stars. And meanwhile, you don't notice that you're being followed by a thug that is having a knife on his hands, okay? That's just a typical condition white. Stop texting while you're walking. Look around. Be straight. Be straight. Seriously. There's this expression they say, respect everybody, fear none. That's true. Look everybody into the eyes. Respectful, but don't be afraid. The moment that the enemy understands that you're afraid, you're a target. The moment that the enemy that sees that you're not aware, you're a target. Now, talking about targets, here we go. He's coming, the special guest. This is the man that now is a target of ISIS. And he's living in America, here, just because he exercises the First Amendment. Don't go away. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with Luca Zanna. Here we go, guys. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom. I really treasure the opportunity to listen from you, regular people, because after all, everybody's unique. Everybody has a story. And now the struggle for humanity, for freedom, for our republic if you're in America, but for your republic or for your country, wherever you are, because we're all under attack. There is the difference, though. In America, we are facing the same threat that you're facing in Europe. We know very well, I at least try to explain with this first hour of the show, that the problem is created by the same people that were trying to give us the solution. So this Islamic threat, yes, their book spell it out. If you're a good Muslim, that's what you got to do. You got to convert other people with force, and that's the fact. But at the same time, we know that they are behind all this. Who is behind? The governments that try to put us under this new tyranny. Now, what I say, in America, we are under attack too. We have now, this administration is trying to open the gates of our country, not just to illegal aliens coming from Mexico or other countries. No, also from for refugees that among them we know that there are a highest percentage of Muslims with no back screening. And also we know that among them, there are also potential terrorists. Now, the problem is we have a chance in this country, at least a right, that in many European countries or all European countries, they don't have. No, even in Switzerland, it's a right. It's still a privilege. The right to self-defense, the right to defend ourselves, the right to defend this republic, the Second Amendment. Now, don't get me wrong. We are all vulnerable. We are all human beings. But at the same time, we are not completely cows ready for the slaughterhouse. That's the bottom line. I have a guest here. It's one of my Facebook friends. I've really been following him. That unfortunately, this is not a movie. This is not a little story out there on the newspapers. This is real. It's a regular guy. It's a veteran. It's an American that, he likes to exercise his First Amendment, like myself. And he found out himself that he was covered on this ISIS official or semi-official magazine. They got a nice article about him with photo and everything else. So much that also the federal agency, I think the FBI, it will tell us more, they came to him to try to warn him, say, hey, you're a target. Now, this is real. This is real. Now I want him to explain to you what happened to him, because that could happen to any of us. That's the bottom line. And I don't care what you believe. I don't care if you're an atheist. I don't care if you're Christian, a Buddhist. I don't care anything. But if you do not advocate for violence, you should have the right to say whatever you want about everybody you want. If you want to say that the Pope is a jerk, go ahead. I agree with you, by the way. But the point is, we should not be fearful to have our head chopped out or something like that. This is still America, and that's why I believe completely in the Second Amendment, because this is the way we're going to live and die if we have to. Here we go. I have this great guy. It's a U.S. veteran, and I think he's a guy that he can tell us much more about what happened to him. Steve Klein. Steve, are you there?
Luca, thank you very much. Doing great. Great introduction. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's real simple as far as what you're talking about for the First Amendment. That if you don't have a Second Amendment, you don't have a First Amendment. Thank God. Only in the world, America is the only country with a written First Amendment and Second Amendment. You lose one, you lose the other. The pen and the sword, they work together. So God bless you for thinking that way. And yeah, ISIS has named me and shown my photograph to have me murdered. You can look it up online. It's in their publication. It's called Dabiq 7. Dabiq is D like David, A like Apple, B like boy, I like India, Q like Queen. Dabiq 7. Dabiq is where the ISIS and the Sunni Muslims believe that the end of the world will happen, and they believe it'll happen very soon. And for them, it's their Armageddon, and they think that they're going to defeat all of the non-Muslim enemies in Dabiq. But anyways, we're doing an outreach in Kingman, Arizona that covers the Taliban coming out of the mosque in Kingman, Arizona. We'll be passing out flyers this Friday, and there will be proof, evidence, and facts linking up the Imam of the Kingman Mosque. He's what's called a Dio Bandi, and the Dio Bandis, they're the ones that formed the Taliban. In Phoenix,
Wow.
you have two of the guys in Phoenix at the mosque who were members of ISIS. They were shot to death a couple of months ago. In Texas, they were trying to murder some people. And then in Tucson, you have the first terrorist circle coming into the United States in 1985. In Tucson, you have Al-Qaeda, and they're linked up with the mosque in Tucson, ISIS in Phoenix, Taliban in Kingman. Myself and Dutch Jones will be passing out flyers. I can't tell you where yet. It'll be in Kingman, Arizona this Friday. We've alerted the FBI and the sheriff and police and other people there for police protection. But yeah, this stuff is real. It's everywhere. I give a lecture on October 20th in San Diego County to about 100 to 200 Republicans about the infiltration of ISIS, Taliban, Muslim Brotherhood, Al-Qaeda, and the Republican and the Democratic Party. I've been vetted by the FBI and the sheriff. They all agree with me, so it's very interesting what's happening. And yeah, they're right here in Arizona, and then they're California, they're in Nevada, they're in New Mexico, Texas, everywhere. So yeah, this is the big battle that'll happen shortly, and you nailed it. What happens in Europe will happen in the United States, but a gigantic difference. We have guns. Do not give up your Second Amendment.
Steve, before we go ahead, this is important. So I would like to connect the dots. You are a very outspoken person about the threat, according to facts, but it's still your opinion. I don't care. And by the way, I agree with you that we are facing, as a free nation, with a system coming from a culture of Islam. Because the point is, it is not any type of conspiracy. People can believe even that, whatever they want. But at the end of the day, if you get the Constitution on the right with the Bill of Rights and you get their book called Quran, they're not compatible. That's a fact. So you've been talking about this, and that's why they gave you the special reviews on their ISIS magazine. That's why you think you got featured?
That was part of it. I was part of the Benghazi deal where the ambassador and the 4 Americans got murdered. I was part of that. So, and we made that movie just to do that, to piss off the Muslims so they would act too soon. It would be, the whole theory was, if somebody had done something with Adolf Hitler to tip off the world that the guy was an evil maniac, that was good too. So it goes back to Benghazi. Plus, I've been going for years to mosques all over California and the United States and taking on these guys face to face. And then I do a TV show every Thursday, and you can see it on my website, which is www.whatdidmo.com. Whatdidmo.com. .com, and I have all the proof, evidence, and facts. Everything I do, I have the proof, evidence, and facts. I was a Marine Corps officer after I was enlisted in Vietnam. I did counter-guerrilla, counterintelligence work in Vietnam, literally surrounded by the North Vietnamese Army and the Viet Cong. That's where I learned intel. Then I became an officer battle planner for the Marine Corps, and that's where I learned the sophisticated art of battle planning. And so I've used all those skills, and I have gone face-to-face. In fact, I met in La Mesa, California, in San Diego County. I met Anwar al-Awlaki, the future leader of Al-Qaeda for the whole world. I met him face-to-face in 2002 in La Mesa with my friends and deputy sheriffs, talked to the guy, knew he was insane, knew he was a murderer, knew he was a thug. And that's where I learned that, yeah, terrorist cells are in California, in Arizona, in Nevada. I met another guy, Musamil Siddiqui, who is leader of the Muslim Brotherhood in the United States. He's good friends with George W. Bush and with Obama both. I met a number of other guys, Ahmad Sakar, S-A-K-R. He introduced the Muslim Brotherhood into University of Arizona, Tucson, back around 1985 or so, and spread the Muslim Brotherhood throughout Arizona, University of Arizona, Arizona State University, UCLA, USC, Cal Berkeley, Georgetown University, George Washington, Weber State in Utah. Yeah, all of these things are going on. It's really funny when the media was blasting me. They surrounded, hundreds of the media surrounded me on September 12, 2012, after the ambassador got murdered in Benghazi. Hillary and Obama were trying to pin that on me. It was funny. And I was telling them, yeah, you got this terror cell here, this terror cell. They were laughing at me, and they thought it was really funny. Then the FBI came to my house that night. I had to meet with them for 3 or 4 days in a row. And they said, yeah, everything you're saying is true, but the media and these other people, basically who hate the Second Amendment and hate the First Amendment, were trying to destroy it. So, yeah, you're right on target.
Wow, one second. I had to reconnect a couple of things here. You were the guy behind the video, the sort of documentary that they try to blame to?
I was a spokesman working with the guy that produced it, Nakula Basili. Nakula, we're still friends. He got thrown in federal prison.
Wow.
The FBI came to me. They were interrogating me. I was right on the verge of getting thrown into prison.
Wow.
It's a long story, but yeah.
Wow.
And the whole idea, when Nakula approached me, he said, hey, I want to make this video, which is true, about Muhammad.
Uh-huh.
And the reason is, he says, I want to get the Muslims to move too soon, showing their violent nature. And I believe that is why the refugees and all these other guys are coming over here. To me, from I'm looking at it, the Muslim Brotherhood, is really globally in charge of ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Boko Haram, all these different groups. The Muslim Brotherhood is behind that, and I am convinced that they are behind the movement of the refugees in Italy, in Greece, and into Europe. Absolutely.
Yes, and by the way, you're familiar that, Anwar al-Awlaki that you met,
Yep.
he used to work for the Pentagon. I mean, there is official news, also mainstream of news like Fox News, that he was having dinner at the Pentagon. I mean, he's been working with them. And then out of the blue, when the administration didn't want him around anymore, or just maybe they were afraid of him, who knows? I mean, this guy knew a lot. I mean, to think that one of the most powerful, or at least the most dangerous, supposed to be terrorist, is having dinner with the top brass at the Pentagon, that freaks me out a little bit. That maybe we are into a conspiracy, But then out of the blue, without any judge, any trial, any due process, because after all, this guy was an American. After all, the point, whatever you want, now just because it's overseas, it's still in America. They decided to drone him up. And also his son, it was a 16-year-old child, still a young man, they also killed him without any type of due process. So something that we must understand as Americans, when you have this supposed to be terrorist, they will be a terrorist, but he's working and he's on the payroll of the top brass of this administration. He should tell you something. And then out of the blue, after he has a dinner, he's going to have another little type of dinner, with a predator above his ass, okay?
Hellfire missile, $100,000 Hellfire missile shoved down his throat.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
So something we must ask ourselves. And now they can use the same type of law that, by the way, even it's unconstitutional. The National Defense Authorization Act, especially the 2012, with this indefinite detention, you can be taken out, any one of us, and yourself. Even you are natural born American. I mean, with me, probably they can say I have an accent. They try to probably paint me like a terrorist from Italy, who knows? But even you guys that you are born in America, that is so important, we understand. We are not protected anymore under the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Due process was there for a reason. You shouldn't be killed without or sentence without anymore having the opportunity, a right to defend yourself. Okay, even more important, the burden is supposed to be on the government. But the point is, this is so serious. This is so serious. I'm glad I called you, because there is so much I have no idea about what you were behind.
Thank you.
And I'm so proud of you. I met you in person.
Thank you.
This is important. This is very important. Now, is your life, this is serious. You got in this magazine that I don't care who's behind, the CIA or not. It's still something that the average idiot out there, the useful idiots serving Islam, he may believe that stuff. So they put you out there. The FBI came to you. Did they give you any type of hint or help or anything what they can do for you?
Yeah, it's actually very interesting. The best helper is me and my wife. We're heavily armed, Second Amendment. But also, they have a special team, and they monitor the chatter of all the different terrorist groups. And when my name started showing up, my wife's name,
Wow.
and my son's name, they started showing up. Then they call me immediately and say, okay, they're talking about you. So that's fine. And remember, I have a lot of experience in combat. Our house is a virtual fortress. We have weapons in every room. And it's eventually, see, the Muslims, they never forget. They're very patient. And eventually, sometime in the next 5 minutes or 25 years, they will hit. It's just the way they operate. So, yeah, you're right. And it's interesting when you're talking about hitting Anwar al-Awlaki, the citizen due process and stuff. It's interesting because the senior leadership of Saudi Arabia are the guys that funded him. But you see, they're billionaires. Al-Awlaki is not. Mm-hmm. And also the family that's in charge of Qatar, which is where all of the global terrorist funding comes to Qatar. That family is also involved in that. Their name is Al Thani, A-L. Second name is Thani, T like Tom, H like House, A-N-I. They fund ISIS. They fund al-Nusra in Syria, which is basically ISIS. They fund Al Jazeera, and this Al Thani family is real close to Texas A&M and our colleges, and Secretary of Defense Robert Gates, who started a Texas A&M satellite campus there for the Al Thanis in Qatar. And they are in control of all of the financing and funding and all these terrorist cells in the United States.
Wow. This is amazing.
We have all the documentation on that. That's what I'll be presenting October 20th to the Republicans when I'm down there in San Diego.
Guys, this is not entertainment. This is real life. And it's very sad to think, for all the listeners out there, we're living in 2015, and we're supposed to be free to express ourselves. We're supposed to be free. One of the few things that the federal government should be doing it as a duty, okay, is to protect our borders and to protect our citizens, especially on U.S. soil, okay? We are here. Instead, I have the feeling that you're living like almost you are on some sort, of this, like you're living in Afghanistan, like you were in some sort of another reality. And this is so sad, to think that now you got to watch your life, you got to watch your family. And because that these bastards, anyway, they're cowards, by the way. I had the chance when I was in Rome, and I was even aware I was just a regular guy before even I woke up, before I left Italy. I dealt in person with some of them. They act like a pack of coyotes. Normally, one by one, they are just a bunch of cowards, and they get you in the back. That's the reality of the game. And they are proud of, because their book says, you lie if you have to, cheat if you have to. By the end of the day, they want to do what they want to do, and their goal is domination. I have no problems with any religion. I'm telling you, normally I don't even talk about religion on my show. Everybody do whatever they want, and that's fine. There is only one condition. When your religion spells it out, that I have to convert to your religion, or I have three options: or I convert and I become a good slave, or I'm going to pay a tax because that's what's called the dima, or I'm going to have my head chopped. I have a problem with that religion. That's why the show is called Love, Guns, and Freedom. Doesn't mean that, if we are free, we are free all the way. And we should be free to speak about anything we want. And if I want to say something about your religion, I have that right. If you don't like that I paint a little cartoon, guess what? Go back to Saudi Arabia, wherever you're from. I know that they have Sharia law there, and they chop your heads if you say stuff like I'm saying right now. That's why I don't even want to even think to go in any other places. But the point, they're coming to us, and this is reality, and it's very sad because we're going to believe pretty soon if something does not get done at the government level, and I don't believe it's going to happen, like in a war zone. Because seriously, I mean, you look how is your life changed? I mean, I don't think you changed even before this situation, but for sure now after the FBI came to you, you have confirmation you are a potential target. How do you enjoy your life now?
Yeah, it makes life interesting everywhere we go. Sometimes I'll walk around my house and I don't have my Glock in my hand, and it's funny, my sweet, tiny, little, petite, beautiful wife of 45 years, she's a grandma, she'll walk up with my Glock in her hand and hand it to me, and she'll say, I love you a lot, but this ain't doing me any good if it's not in your hand.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny, but she has a pink 5-shot 38 also, so it's pretty cute. But there is good news. I love Arizona. I love what you're doing. You and Dutch and Jolly, Shots Ranch, all those guys doing a great job. From watching, I've been to Texas, Nevada, California. I've been working with the different groups and whatnot that are all legal, ethical, and moral. But I see that Arizona has a leg up. Arizona, the folks who live there are great folks, working on trying to move there in the next 5 years or so. So I'm going there all the time, probably 2-3 weekends out of the month. But it's gentlemen like you coming from Italy, waking up, dumb Americans opening our eyes, and Arizona seems to really have a good grip on this stuff, and I'm really excited to do the outreach. It's going to be huge this weekend. We're notifying the FBI, Homeland Security, notifying the sheriff, police chief, all the elected officials. But we're actually going to fax out to them the copies of all the proof of the Kingman Mosque, the Phoenix Mosque, and the Tucson Mosque linked to Taliban, ISIS, and the Al-Qaeda. And wow. All your elected officials have been very, very receptive. I'm very pleased with the Arizona folks.
Wow, this is amazing. And I tell you, this is, I would like to say, we're talking right now about the hour of guns. And so far we didn't talk about guns really, but this is all connected because the Second Amendment exactly why we can do things like this.
Absolutely.
That's
Keep
the
your
bottom
gun.
line. I mean, even I remember, I used to, when I came to America at the beginning, I spent my first few years in California, and I was very active, as I understood what happened with the illegal immigration problem. I used to do my rallies, my peaceful protests with my fellow Americans to try to, be concerned about this. But I remember the difference, Every time I was in California in front of Home Depot, tried to protest illegal aliens, it was always facing some sort of a violent act from these bastards because they knew that we were disarmed, we were outnumbered, and of course the cops, they always turn on the other side. Guess what? Since I moved to Arizona, every protest we did, or I did by myself, I even need to have a group. I do by myself. I never had any problem. I could do that peacefully. Yep. I exercise my First Amendment. I don't bother anybody, and nobody bothers me. That's the bottom line.
Yes,
and that's why it's so important, guys, wherever you are, around the world, and of course in Arizona, we must really, if we have it, we fight to keep it and always to improve it. If you don't have it, please find a way to get that right. Because I understand in Europe, unfortunately, you don't have it. It's a privilege. But somehow, somewhere, when regular citizens understand this concept, even if you come from a different cultural background, like in Europe, you understand this is going to be the most important thing you can do for yourself and your next generation. You got to get part of the government to change the government, at least to get some basic rights. And one of those is, of course, freedom of speech. Let me tell you, Klein, just for the conversation we're having right now, if we were in Europe, you know very well what happened to Brigitte Bardot or to the Italian writer, for example,
Yes.
Oriana Fallaci. We would go at least a civil lawsuit just because we are talking our minds about this religion of peace with two E, as I said. It's a religion of violence, in my opinion. And don't get me wrong, there might be Muslims out there that they are doing their business, but maybe they're not good Muslims, because if you're a really good Muslim, you got to obey their book, okay? So, like, for example, I'm not a good Catholic. I'm not Catholic at all, even if I was baptized Catholic. But as a matter, I'm not Catholic. But the point, if you're a good Muslim, unfortunately, we have some incompatibility. And just because I'm expressing this concept on this radio, I would be, for sure, civilly sued in Europe. And, of course, the government, like in France or many other governments in Italy, they would be probably send me the cops. That's a fact. That's a fact.
Canada.
So,
Canada, too. Canada's already arrested a number of people for giving facts, evidence, and proof. Absolutely. You're absolutely right.
So that's the bottom line. But more important now, you see, it is not just about fearing the government. It's about they come to your door. They come to try to threat you and make you live in fear. We cannot live in fear. We cannot live in sort of the moment that we stop saying what we believe and what we think, we lost. We lost. I mean, it's an illusion. It's a fraud. I cannot call myself an American if I'm afraid to say what I think. I would. The problem that I don't have even anymore my Italian passport. I burned them like in 2005. So I'm stuck. I gotta stay here. So
That's cute.
Klein, I want to give you the last chance. The last chance. You have more chances, but the time is getting short.
No problem.
Whatever you want to say, I
You're
give you.
doing great, man.
Give me one more time the website or where people can reach you out, please.
Yeah, you can go. I'm on Facebook. It's called, my Facebook page is Abolish Islam, ABOLISH Islam, Abolish Islam. I get about 5,000 hits a day.
Wow.
And my website, which is pretty new, my website is www.whatdidmo.com, and you can see my TV shows on there. I got 6 or 7 TV shows on there. It's going great because of people like you who are bona fide true Americans believing in the Second and the First Amendment. My grandmother, Durando, she's from Milan, Italy. She's passed away, but, she just loved America, and it's folks like you who truly make America what America is. So I'm honored to be on your show. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Steve. It's my pleasure, my honor. Guys, don't go away, because talking about controversial and something that we're going to break the law again. Now I'm going to break the law so bad that there is a law in France that just because you say something about the Holocaust, you can go to jail. And this is not me speaking. I have a guest. I have a regular guy from Kentucky that is going to express himself. And I'm not here to say he's right or he's wrong. No, I'm just saying that he has the right to say whatever he wants. The only condition we say, we do not advocate violence. At that point, if you meet that condition, we have freedom of speech, especially on this radio station and on this channel and with this show, Love, Guns, and Freedom. And that's why I want to say we should never be afraid to speak up our mind, and we are living in America. Till then, we will be America. Don't go away. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with Luca Zanna.
You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with Luca Zanna on United States.fm network.